Hello and welcome to another new video about Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation 5 here. Also, please do click on that little subscribe button, bell thingy below if you want to follow me for more Forza Horizon 5 stuff on PlayStation 5, okay? With that being said, I'm going to start with 3 tips that you as a new player need to know in order to make all the things that you need to have in Forza Horizon 5, including super Wheelspins, XP, credits, car mastery points, and a lot more in the process. So please watch every tip number 1, tip number 2, and then tip number 3 chronologically in order in case you do not want to get confused, because this is just me giving you a heads up that things might get confusing. So please do follow the entire video up until the end in case you do not want to get lost anywhere, right? With that being said, let's start with tip number 1. Okay, so tip number 1 is the basic trick where you start everything. You start this when you want to start grinding all your wheel spins, all your XP, all your credits, and your car mastery points. So in this tip, in tip number 1, you as a new player will come to know what you need to do in order to make as much money and XP and car mastery points, and in the process wheel spins, right? So let's get into tip number 1, which is you need to go into the auto show in case you still have not. So MT900 Modular, right? So this is the car that you need to buy in order to make the tip number 1 get started. Because the thing is, if you do not follow tip number 1 properly, you might not be able to follow tip number 2 and then tip number 3. So just a heads up again that please follow this entire thing in chronological order. So tip number 1, buy yourself this car if you still have not. I am guessing you have already got this car or have already bought it. Now the thing you need to do is put a tune code on this particular car, which I will show you on screen and will leave down in the description as well. Right, now this is the tuning setup that you need to download here in order to get started with tip number 1. Alright, now that we have the required tune that we need, we will come back into Event Labs and we will enter in the event code that I will leave in the description once again. Right, now that we have the required tune and the required event, again the code will be in the description, right? Once you click on it, you need to click on solo, of course. And now you need to click on your MT900 with the tune that we have, right? It is loaded with the tune that we already need. First things first, you need to come to your difficulty, right? You need to make sure that your difficulty is set just exactly the way I am setting to now, right? This is it. This is the entire setup you need for the settings for this particular event, right? Once done, just click on save and continue. Okay, now here is where you can take 2 different paths. Basically, if you already have a lot of money and XP like me, see, I have over 100 million and my rank is at the 4-star at some 62, right? So the point is, if you already have money and rank, and if you already have grinded this part out, you don't need to do this every time. What I mean is, you start the race, right? So this entire race takes about 25 seconds. Now once this thing gets over, you need to click on continue and you will get a free wheel spin, plus on top of that 50,000 credits and some 50,000 XP, and on top of that you get 10 car mastery points, and on top of that you get 1 free wheel spin that gets added to your inventory. So it is a win-win situation in case you're a new player, right? So I would do this if I was a new player. I would start this event on this particular difficulty and then I would click on continue right here after the event gets over. If I was a new player wanting to get XP and credits again, right? Because I'm going to get into the same thing again to explain to you how this works. Now you click on continue, you get 43,000 XP, you get 1 free wheel spin like you can see here that I'm getting, And now once you're back into your lobby, when you get 43,000 XP, right, you get 50,000 credits for completing that event. And on top of that, I think my car mastery points are all full. But yes, like I said, you can have a maximum of 999 car mastery points. So now here is where things get interesting. In case you're a new player, like I said, wanting to grind all of this stuff, you can keep doing this. Keep continuing after the event ends, so you're back into free roam. But in case you already have done all of this part, you do not need to waste time into coming back into the lobby and then going back into event labs. Okay, so here is where it gets interesting, where you do not have to waste time into coming back into the free roam and then loading the event back up. So you click on that race again, the event that we have, right, with the Mosler MT900. Now you start the event, and again it will take right about some 25 seconds to complete, right? Right now, once the race is over here, when the event is over, right, instead of clicking on continue and getting credits, wheel spins and XP and those car mastery points, what we do instead is we click on restart, right? So once you complete that event, just click on restart and it should bring you back on this screen. Once you're here, you need to click the race event again, keep doing the same thing. And so in 25 seconds here, you essentially lose out on the XP that you gain from completing the event. You lose out on the credits, which is 50,000 from completing the event. You lose out on the free wheel spins that you get after completing the event, but you get to keep your car mastery points and you get to keep your wheel spins as XP, because every time you race, all of these skill points do count. So your car mastery points will get back to 999 in about 5 to 10 minutes before you even know it. So instead of clicking on continue, like I said, click on restart and you will save on all your car mastery points. You will keep getting 10 car mastery points every time you do this. Now this was very important because this is why tip number 2 is very important. You need to understand this in order to proceed ahead with tip number 2, right? Alright, so now you as a new player have already done this event a lot of times and you probably have about a couple million to spare and a couple car mastery points to spare, right? Because you can only get a maximum of 999. So it would only make sense that you spend your car mastery points because you cannot get more than 999, right? So once all of this is done, once you're clear with tip number 1, tip number 2 is this: how to get super wheel spins. This is how you make free super wheel spins every time by spending all the car mastery points that we earned from restarting the event every time. So 25 seconds and 2.5 minutes. Every time you complete that event, 3 minutes will give you somewhere about 100 skill points if you do the math correctly, right? So you can make all your car mastery points in about half an hour, in like about 45 minutes max, right? So now that you have all your car mastery points and the XP and all the credits that you need, you've already done your car mastery points to maximum. You come back into the auto show. This is where you start with getting free super wheel spins. So you come here into Jeep. Okay, once here into Jeep, since we already have so many car mastery points to spare, we will spend 50,000 credits by buying one of these Jeep Rubicons, okay? Once you have the Jeep Rubicon, come back out into the menu, into the auto show, go into the garage section, click on upgrades and tuning, and now you need to come into car mastery. Simple, right? Right now, you need to follow one pattern in case you do not want extra Forza-thon points. But in case you do want, and which is what I would also recommend, because it's not much, it is 6 car mastery points that you need to spend in order to get extra Forza-thon points. So you want, in case you want, you can skip Forza-thon points here. 1, 2, 3, 4, And then this is where it gets interesting. You unlock the 2018 Bertie Wrangler Unlimited 50 skill points, right? But before unlocking that, in case you want, you can go a step further here and spend 6 more car mastery points to get 10 extra Forzathon points, right? Once we are done with that, that is completely up to you. You need to click on this to unlock the Bertie design Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Perfect, it makes sense. Once done, come back out into your menu and click into your garage. Now, considering you already have a Bertie Wrangler Jeep, the one that we unlocked, you will have to click on duplicates. And here is where you'll see all the duplicates. And here is where you'll see Jeep Wrangler Rubicons, the one that we bought. And you'll get to see the ones that we have unlocked from the car mastery points, right? Makes sense. And this right here, the one that says it's new here on the corner, that is the one that we just unlocked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that, get in car. And just like that, we do not exit out into the free mode. We are technically still into the auto show. Just back out again into the menu, click on your upgrades like before, go into car mastery here. And now again, here is where it gets interesting. In case you do not want these extra Forzathon points, you can completely skip this, but it's 2 extra car mastery points. So 1 here and 1 right there. I would only recommend you do that. Now, once you're done with that or not, completely depending on your scenario, you can skip that or opt to choose that. Come here, do this, and this, and then this last here, that is the super wheel spin. Now what happens is, if you're in the free mode and you click on this, it will instantly give you a free super wheel spin, which we do not want. We want to keep gathering as many as we can in order to, make a montage and probably get something good out of it, right? So once you're done with that, you need to back out now, and we have a couple duplicates. Now it's up to you. If you want, you can gift them, but what I like to do is, since they are not really good cars, what I really do is I come back into my garage section, I come back into my cars, and I go into duplicates, right? Now, once I'm already done with unlocking all the car mastery points here, I only need to keep one of these individual Jeeps, right? So I'm going to remove the other 2 from my garage. Now you can keep following this method every time in case you only want super wheel spins. And technically we started with somewhere about 999 car mastery points. And like you can see, we had to spend somewhere about close to 100, I would say, right? Close to about 100 car mastery points for one super wheel spin. So in case you have 999, you can unlock pretty much 10 super wheel spins and then get back to that grind for that event and then click restart every time. So 25 seconds is 10 car mastery points. So you do not come back into free mode and then load that event back up and waste time. Instead, you just click restart. Okay. So you will have 999 car mastery points back in no time. Now, this is where tip number 3 steps in. This is why I said in the start of the video that you need to follow everything in chronological order. Now, once you're done with this, okay, in case you want more money, because if you click on restart, you do not get enough credits, right? You do not even get any credits from that event. You only get credits once you continue and once you come back out into free mode. Unless you do not do that, you do not get credits. You only get your car mastery points and wheel spins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show how the tip number 3 works. Okay, so tip number 3 is where it gets interesting, and you make about 2.6 million by selling cars, and in that process you end up getting more than enough money that you need. Okay, you click on Lamborghini right here. So I would only recommend you go for the stock color here, like I go every time, and you will have to spend 174,000 credits, which is okay. You'll make more than that, like more than 500% of that in no time. Okay, so you click on that, you buy that car, which is the Lamborghini SV, right, for 174,000 credits. Now you go back out, do not enter into the free roam, like the free mode. Just come back out into garage, upgrades and tuning, and just like before, you click on car mastery here, and here again is where it gets interesting. You can again skip these Forzathon points or opt to, because again, like I said, I would recommend you do this every time. It adds a lot of extra Forzathon points which you can, use in buying free super wheel spins and wheel spins. So start here with the credits, then click on this one, and then your Forzathon points, and then this, and then you get a wheel spin, and then you get this, and then another 50 skill points, car mastery points for unlocking the Diablo GTR. Okay, you spend that and you back out, and then you come back into your garage instead of going back into the auto show. And now this time you click on duplicates, and here is where you will find your extra Diablo GTR. Okay, so now how this works is you make about 2.6 million every time by selling one of these cars. So you basically spend about 200,000, which is 174,000, and about 80 car mastery points in order to unlock the GTR. And once you have that, you come back out, and then you click on buy and sell. You go back into your auction house here, okay, and then you start the auction. You click on duplicates. So as you can see, I have two here. I did one before recording this video, and now I just did one while recording this one. So I have two extra Diablo GTRs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to auction them for 2.6 million each. And so at times, like you see here on screen, it might let you auction it for 2.1 instead of 2.6, which is okay. It is random. It completely depends on the auction house. So sometimes you'll get a buyout price for 2.6, and at times you might get a buyout price for 2.1. So you click on confirm and you put both of them on sale. And now is where I'll put this little thingy here on the corner, somewhere about there, okay, where I'll leave a montage of all these Diablo GTRs that I sold. So basically, you put them out on auction for 1 hour, right? Now, once you back out, you come back into my auctions, right? You can see you have 2 GTRs for auction here now, okay? Perfect, makes sense. And now that we need more car mastery points, we get back to the free roam thingy. We come back here into Creative Hub. We click on Event Lab, and the same process again of the grind starts. So you basically come back into your favorites or your history, whatever, right? So yeah, the time that it takes at times to load this event is crazy, which is why I once click on it, I just keep restarting it and get all my car mastery points back in about 20 minutes. And when I go back into the auction house is when I can buy more Jeep Wranglers to unlock more free super wheel spins, and I can sell more Lamborghini GTRs. So you can become a Lamborghini GTR dealer, you can sell Lamborghinis, and you can earn free super wheel spins by buying these free 50,000, basically for 50,000 the Jeeps, and all you spend is car mastery points, which you can earn back by playing this event and restarting like I showed before, and not waste time to come back into the free mode and then click on this whole event again. So all the 3 tips are over. This was a no BS guide. This was part 2 of the guide here that I made. This was a not so beginner guide. And these are the 3 tips that I would use if I was a not so beginner player in Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation 5 to make unlimited super wheel spins, credits, XP, car mastery points, and everything else that you could possibly need in the game. Alright, with this one method, you can keep unlocking endless amount of stuff. You can keep grinding endless amount of super wheel spins. It only depends on which sort of path you take. If you decide to not sell Lamborghinis and only spend car mastery points on the Jeeps, you can probably unlock 10 super wheel spins from about 999 car mastery points, and you can make them back in 20 minutes. So it's a big grind. It's a huge grind for anyone and everyone, and depending on whatever you want, you can click on continue or restart, and then you can probably sell a couple cars. You can do all of this while unlocking free super wheel spins and just have a good time in general. And again, one more tip before I sign off is what I would give you. You come back into cars and you go into your change car section, right? You click on duplicates, and all these other Jeeps were pretty bad, right? So we don't want to gift trash cars to new players. We can actually gift these extra spare Lamborghinis to new players, which is what I'm going to do here and show you guys as well. One, welcome. And then one more to new players. Welcome. I'm gonna keep one because that's the one that I actually need, and all the others are the ones that I've gifted. So as you can see here, I'm not gonna click on them because if I click, they're gonna open and they're gonna start spending themselves. So I have more than all these 9+ super wheel spins and all of these 9+ wheel spins. So what I do is I open all of these super wheel spins and wheel spins on weekends on my stream here live on YouTube. So I would recommend you click on that little subscribe button, bell thingy, all of that good stuff. If you do not want to miss any more Forza Horizon stuff from my channel, and if you want me to ramble about all these free wheel spins, super wheel spins, and good tips and tricks about Forza Horizon 5, would recommend you just give me one little follow button down there, okay? That being said, please take care, and I'm gonna definitely see you in the next one.